After spending more than 2 decades as a private citizen, former President Bill Clinton has plenty to say about the past, present, and future of our country. He's sharing those thoughts with Tracy Smith.
Welcome back to Harlem, Mr. President.
Thanks, man.
They don't play Hail to the Chief when President Bill Clinton shows up anymore.
Hey, guys.
But there's an equally welcome sound he still hears all the time.
Give my love to Hillary, too.
Thank you.
How's it been being in Harlem?
I love it. Hey, man.
Here in Harlem, a walk through the streets with Bill Clinton feels a lot like a victory lap.
Hey, man.
The president set up shop here shortly after he left office.
We got to really move now.
Back then, he was only 54, newly unemployed, but determined to use his influence, contacts, and know-how to make a difference as a private citizen. He even said so in his final address to the nation.
In the years ahead, I will never hold a position higher or a covenant more sacred than that of President of the United States. But there is no title I will wear more proudly than that of citizen.
In the 24 years since he made that speech, Citizen Clinton has accomplished enough to fill several lifetimes and the pages of a new book.
What are you most proud of that you've done in your time out of the White House?
I think the thing I'm most proud of is that I proved that you can make a big difference as a private citizen.
By any measure, he's done that. Through his Clinton Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative, which partners business leaders with nonprofits, he's helped fund projects worldwide. To name a few, a program to help combat HIV and AIDS in South Africa, a massive clean water project in Rwanda, and closer to home, his foundation helped with everything from the energy-saving retrofit of the Empire State Building in New York to fighting drug overdoses in the Heartland, to an upgrade of streetlights in Los Angeles. They also helped fund construction jobs to rebuild crumbling infrastructure.
We raised $16 billion from union pension funds to put people to work. It was the biggest in the country at the time. That's what I'm proud of, because I think people are happy when they do things that actually make things better.
You clearly are.
I am.
Of course, this still makes him happy too. The president hit the road for the Harris Waltz ticket in the final weeks of the campaign and says he was disappointed but not entirely surprised by the result.
Do you think part of the issue is that America is just not ready for a female president?
Maybe. I think in some ways we've moved to the right as a reaction to all the turmoil. I think if Hillary had been nominated in 2008, she would have walked in just like Obama did.
Has the country changed?
Well, I think all these cultural battles we're fighting make it harder in some ways for a woman to win.
So you think it has more to do with party than gender?
No. Although I think it would probably be easier for a conservative Republican woman to win.
Than a Democrat woman?
Because I mean, that's what Maggie Thatcher did. But I still think we'll have a female president pretty soon.
You do?
I do.
How soon? Within your lifetime?
Well, oh yeah. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to live. You're asking an old man that question. I hope I'm around for the next time, but now it's President Trump's turn in the barrel. It depends on what he does and how it plays.
Thank you very much.
We spoke this past week as the president-elect was in the process of naming his new cabinet, shaking up Washington, D.C. and beyond.
Are the guardrails off?
Well, there's no obvious guardrail. The Senate's shown some indigestion about some of these suggested appointments. We'll see what happens there. And, you know, and somewhere along the way, he'll have to think about whether at this stature of his life, he still thinks the most important thing is to have unquestionable domination, because that's not what a democracy is about.
So you're saying President Trump might have a change of heart?
He might. I was raised in the Baptist church. I believe in deathbed conversions. You know, I think you can't give it up, but I think the rest of us just have to be diligent, watch the signs, and be willing to stand up for what we think is right, even if they take a piece out of our hide. Maybe we should go to Sylvia's.
You want to get a cup of coffee at Sylvia's?
Come on.
In his book, the president writes candidly about his health issues, including his battle with weight. But he couldn't resist stopping into the famed soul food restaurant Sylvia's, if only for a cup of coffee.
If you were eating here, what would you get?
In the middle of the afternoon, I would get some piece of pie.
I know you talk about this in your book. You have to watch your diet a little bit now?
Oh, a lot. It's unbelievable how low your metabolism gets.
If he's candid about his health, he's just as open about past controversies. Clinton writes about Monica Lewinsky, applauding her recent work on bullying.
Why did you make a point of doing that?
Because I thought I needed to say something about it, and I wanted to be as helpful as I could to let her turn the page. And I think she should be given a chance to build a life that is about her and the future, and not, being whiplashed into an old story.
So great to see you. My goodness.
How are you?
Great. I'm doing well. Did my heart so well to see you.
I know.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay.
Great to meet you.
So while he's mindful of the past, Bill Clinton keeps moving forward, making connections big and small.
It's a good picture of Mandela.
Still trying, and often succeeding, in his bid to change the world.
I don't mind it when people jump on me. I just talk to them. And I don't turn them all. You don't have to turn everybody. You just got to get enough. We just all need to loosen up and get back in the game. And I also think, just one other thing, that I'd say this in the book many times, we all keep score. You've been doing this a long time. You're keeping score in your mind about this interview compared to 15 others you've done. And I think the way I keep score is, are people better off when you quit than when you started? Do children have a brighter future? And are we coming together instead of being torn apart? So for me, it's enough if I can answer yes to those three things. I know there are no permanent victories or defeats in politics. And I have no interest in being an armchair quarterback except to help my team perform better. And I think they have enormous talent. So I wish them all well, and I'll try to help. But meanwhile, I'm going to just suit up and do what I'm doing.